here to talk with you about selling your original artwork online. I used to do it on a regular basis and it went very well. And one of the reasons why is because I followed the lead of some other artists whose work I had bought online as well. It's been a couple of years since I have done this, since I've sold artwork online because I was in school and I was doing some in-person things, etc., etc. But as I start to plan to put work back on my website, I was thinking maybe it would be a good idea to be more intentional about what I'm doing. And I thought I would use my collection of work that I have collected online as inspiration. And so I wanted to share with you some of the things that worked for me as a customer purchasing artwork online so that we can make the best possible experience for people who purchase things from us. First of all, you may have noticed that everything that I have purchased online is of a certain size. It is, it's attainable, you know, it's affordable, and it's like a low commitment thing in terms of even size of like putting it on your wall. And I personally love salon style gallery walls that are just full of just delicious little nuggets of gorgeousness of fine art. So so that's, I think, the first thing is, I think choosing a diminutive size, a small size is probably the way to go. A couple of the artists whose work that I have purchased have a whole series of the same kind of thing. For example, Josie Lewis did many of these smaller, I think she called them chunky paintings. I don't know. I really love the sculptural quality of this. I think it's just very harmonious. Her colors are really harmonious. And yeah, there's just, yeah, and I look at this, I get to touch it. This is wonderful. I mean, I had to have it. So there's this feeling of, I had to have it, you know. I think that really is important. Speaking of irresistible pieces that you just had to have, here's one of another piece that came from a series by Ingrid Ching, and her studio or her Instagram is actually Ingrid Ann Ching. Look at this really beautiful back of her artwork too. I loved what she did, and I bought this kind of, let's see, this is year 2018. Yeah, I bought this early in my selling work online period. And I decided that I wanted to do it the way that she did it, because this is like, she basically attached her certificate of authenticity on the back. So like she would sign her work and do all the information here. And then, yeah, so I straight up copied this idea. I'm not gonna lie. This is a piece I did that was showing the crystalline structure on a molecular level of quinacridone pigments from my Color Backstory project. But as you can see, I just straight up copied her. And yeah, I just really loved it. I loved it so much. And so I want to continue to make little plates for the back, but I think it might look a little different now because I have used up all of those plates since then. And I don't know, I think I just like the fact that I wrote, like she did, from the studio of Anne Livingston, artist Anne Livingston. I always thought that's rather redundant, isn't it? But I love the idea that you can put your title, your year, location, your dimensions, your medium. The third example of a piece that was one of many that I just really was loving the palette and I was loving the vibe was this one by Amy Stone. She has this abstract expressionist kind of vibe going, and I first actually saw her work in person, so I already knew what it would feel like in person. Those other two I got purely online, but this is a a person who's also in Seattle. But I really loved how she dealt with color. I found like she will often have this like this glow right here. Like she's able to um, just make some irresistible bits in her abstract art, you know? And she has a really, I don't know, strong sense of like balance, and like she'll have parts that are really dreamy and gauzy, and then she has like mark making happening. If you look at it under raking light, I don't know, can you tell there's a little bit of texture here as well? Not a ton. And she has a glossy varnish, which I think brings out the vibrancy of the color. And the back, oh, did I show you the back of Josie's? No, I did not. I will show it to you too. Okay, so this one's called Stones. Okay, so here's how Josie Lewis's back looks. So in here, in this little vellum envelope, cute, 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 she's got her, this is like, it's almost like a gift card type material. This is not just art, it's a talisman, a charm, a holy relic. The color becomes the icon. The power of the sacred flows through it and flows into you. Josie Lewis. Certificate of authenticity. This object is hereby certified to be original and authentic from the studio of Josie Lewis. And this is a recreation of her signature, but her signature is right here. I wired this. She put a little sawtooth thing here, but I wired it so that I could hang it on this hanging system. Which brings me to another thing that I think that is really important moving ahead to with selling artwork online. And that is wire your work or have the sawtooth thing on there because some people don't, and it's really annoying to have to figure out how you're going to hang it. Now, if you just have a piece that's like this, and you know, somebody could like put a tack here and then hang it on there, but I think at least including a little sawtooth thing, even separately, would be a thoughtful thing to include, or just have it on the piece itself. Okay, so as I said, I already had seen this work in person. Another thing that is particular to this is that I had actually met the person who painted this, and I really liked her. I saw her work in a shop, and then I saw it again, and then I saw her with her work at a show, and I started talking with her, and she was really nice. And then I've been following her for a number of years before I wound up purchasing a piece of her work online. Part of selling work online isn't just the I'm just buying this from a total stranger, but it's just so irresistible I can't help myself. I bought this from somebody that I kind of knew, but I had been really enjoying seeing her work for a long time, and then it's available online. Next story, this artist I actually met on the street. I was driving somewhere and I saw him plein air painting out in the city, and I pulled over. This was a long time ago. This was like, I don't know, 2002. And I just wanted to see what he was doing. So I went over and watched and started chatting with him. And then we became art buddies. And I went with him to some of his city plein air painting sites, and I would bring a sketchbook and just hang out and do art with him. And so I had known him for quite a number of years before eventually, recently actually, I was on his website and I saw this painting. This is Ethan Jack Harrington, otherwise known as E-Jack. And he does a lot of cityscapes, and they're really cool and distorted, and they're kind of large. And so I knew I wasn't going to probably be able to afford to buy a large one, but then I saw that he had this available, and Obviously I like eggs. Apparently that works for me. It's like any painting of an egg. Anyway, yeah, so he has his card attached to the back of his work, and his work also came with a sawtooth. I wound up wiring it myself because I wanted to be able to hang it on this for this video. Yeah, so this is the case of, here's somebody that I knew, definitely was following his work, love his work, and yeah, and actually he was a friend, you know, so that counts as art friend. Next up is artists that I've admired online for their representational work. So this is Kathy Roseth, and she's actually somebody who is local as well. And I think, in fact, I think that we went through the same painting atelier, but I don't know her personally. I don't think, I might have met her once. Let's see, there's a picture of her on the back. But her work did come wired, even this small piece, and I really appreciated that. But look at how beautiful that is. I just had to buy it. It's so lovely. I knew that this piece wasn't going to be framed, so I just attached it with some fun tack just now, but I think I regretted that because I got a little tear. But anyway, this one definitely needs a frame, but it's 6 by 12, so it's going to be a while before I'm going to be able to buy a frame because I know it's going to be expensive. But this is by Julie Dyer Holmes. Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful that is. When she shared this, I think on her Instagram, I think she also showed the original still life that she had set up, and there was cloth behind these little cuties that looked like this, and so this was not just like an abstraction from her mind. She was actually recreating what she saw. So, adorable. So, in my home, like both of these are in the sort of eating area of our house. Next up is an object that I purchased from someone who I also had been following on Instagram, who also happens to be local. This is by Melissa Misota Glass, and she had many options of these beautiful vases, and it was really hard to choose. But look, apparently I have a color preference. I mean, obviously I wore this shirt on purpose because it appears that most of my work that I collect online has a certain color. It's all turquoise. I guess I love the color turquoise and teal. Anyway, this one I ordered online. But she delivered this one in person. So I think that I had the option to have her ship it to me, but since she actually lives sort of near me, we wound up just having her bring it to me. Okay, and then this last but not least is this isn't an original piece, but it is a limited, would this be considered a zine? I don't know, but this is a collection of images by Agnes Hjalmarsson, and I am not fluent in Swedish, so my apologies on the pronunciation, but she talked about this booklet on her YouTube channel. She used to work at a grocery store, and she did portraits of all of her regulars. And this story was so heartwarming that I just felt so compelled to purchase this work, and I am so glad that I did. It is so wonderful to see all of her paintings that she did over the course of this project, and to have a sense actually of just like these people who were shopping at this grocery store in Sweden, you know? I love that. It's just like a piece of culture, but also kind of like a like a personal story at the same time, you know? And also just technically, it's also technically interesting. Like the way that she handles paint, you can kind of see. So, I mean, you can only kind of see because they're small, but anyway, because they're small reproductions. Even so, just yeah, so purchasing a piece of artwork from the internet has the potential for a really special experience that you might not necessarily get when you purchase work in person. And that thing is in the packaging. So there are a couple of these folks who sent me work that was packaged so wonderfully that now the memory of just, you know, unwrapping the artwork has added to the value in my heart about the piece. And so one of the people who did this was Josie Lewis. So she's really known she's really known for, you know, my favorite color is rainbow, you know, which of course I can relate to very much. But anyway, so clearly her work is vibrant and it's like, I want all the colors, and 100%, I'm totally down for that. I actually held on to some of the tissue paper that she wrapped it in. And it was this, have you ever seen this before? I actually had not. It's so, you know, on brand, but beyond that, it really harmonized with the piece itself. Isn't that just so fun? Oh my gosh, I loved it. I loved it. So as I move forward, thinking about how I'm going to be selling artwork online, small pieces, I'm starting to think about how I might want to wrap the work in a way that would be special for the person who is going to be opening it. I especially love, just like what Josie Lewis did, I love having tissue paper that harmonizes with the artwork that it is wrapping up. So if I sell this online, which I probably will, because this is part of a series that has mostly sold, but it's still a really fun piece of work. And I imagine that a lot of the pieces on my website will be, it won't actually be a series like with some of the ones that I talked about, but it'll just be like these individual fun pieces. So as you can see, it's wired and ready to hang. It's got the bumpers. And so this is just ready to go. And so I was thinking, like, how am I going to wrap this up that is going to be really awesome? So first things first, choosing a color of tissue paper that's going to go nicely with the work. This is not my first choice. You know what color I'd really love for this is some kind of ochre colored paper. So yes, I actually might buy some more. I actually had a whole set of it, and it's like really pretty. Kind of like this sunflower vibes color. So I think it'll be really good for these paintings that I did that include yellow ochre. Anyway, but for this example right now, I'll just show you with this. So what I'm going for, like the vibe that I'm going for with wrapping up this gift basically is I want it to feel like a gift. And I want it to feel really cared for. So that's right, I'm doing two pieces of tissue paper. Then I will cut a piece of glassine paper. The reason why I'm using glassine paper is to protect the surface of the painting because it's an oil painting. But also, I just really love the quality of this paper. You know, it's wonderful. Okay, and then comes the bubble wrap. Now I have these bubble wrapped envelopes that actually came with the frame. You know, when I bought this frame online, it was wrapped in this, and so that comes in handy. So my first round of bubble wrap is just going to be in here. And I feel like that's not enough. That's not enough to fully protect this. So I'll probably do another layer. I reuse bubble wrap whenever I can. So I have a little area in my studio that's just holding pieces of bubble wrap that came with something else or whatever. Clean, obviously. What was missing from that wrapping job? Personalization. So this is ready to go. It's color coordinated with the painting, and so it's got a nice, like, carefully taken care of, high value, precious, you know, beloved object. But then what about, you know, who's receiving it? And what about you, right? Like, where are you and the person who's opening it in this picture? So because this is my most recent purchase, I have the things that came in the envelope with Agnes's booklet. And so she had her beautiful business card, and then another piece of, it's almost like a small piece of artwork. And then she also has a thank you card that she hand wrote, a little note to me. And when people do that, when they actually write a little note to me, when I order something online, it means the world. I mean, it really has an impact on my heart, you know? So I think that I'll be doing that as well. So another thing that people have in their unwrapping goodness is you know, I just used tape. Some people use washi tape, but you can also make your own like stickers to kind of seal it closed. So I see that a lot too. Something with, if you have a logo, which I do not have a logo, but like if you have something that is an image that you have made that's kind of like your vibe, you could go to like Moo Cards or some other sticker company and make stickers of it, and then have that be like the last thing. Maybe like not this layer, but the one that has the tissue paper, have it like whoop right there. Or I guess it could have been here. Whoop. In summary, here are things that might make people want to buy something on your website. It's irresistible, or it's in a series, so there's like the sense of choice, or there is a personal connection that they have with it, either because of the subject matter or something that you have said. The story behind it will make a difference. But it's not over then, because there is a real opportunity when they receive the artwork to really feel seen and cared for in the way that you present the work to them when they unwrap it. So make sure that, first of all, that your work is ready to hang, whether it is wired or there is a little sawtooth hanger attached to it, or even just included with the artwork as an option. And then make sure that it is wrapped with care and that there is some kind of personalized bit in there. And it will make a difference. As somebody who has purchased art many times online, I will tell you that those things matter. And as a person who has done the other side of things and mailed off works, I have received the feedback when I have wrapped up something especially nicely. I've heard back from people before, like, oh, that was so beautiful. And I admit that I have not done all these best practices every time that I have mailed off artwork. But now that I'm consciously thinking about it and talking with you about it, I'm realizing I really want to do that. I really want to make the purchasing experience special for the collector who has placed their trust in me. You know, they're buying something randomly on the internet. So yeah, I want to make it a really nice experience for them, and it will only add to the experience of having the art itself. Do you sell work online, or are you thinking about doing it? Have you bought a lot of artwork online like I have? And if so, what has worked for you? Thank you so much for being here with me. It was really fun going through all of these artworks with you and thinking about the best way to, I don't know, make somebody who purchases artwork feel special. Hope you have a great week.